let's show you to make some chicken fajitas. Low carb, of course. We'll show you how to make the fajita flatbreads at the end of this. We're assuming you may have watched us do that already, so you can skip that bit when we get to it. But they are delicious and super, super healthy. Let's get going.
Right, so we've got one chicken breast, we've got some red onion, we're using about a quarter of a red onion, quarter of a red pepper, we've got some sour cream to serve afterwards, we've got some fajita seasoning. Now you can buy this from the supermarket, you can find it in most of your local supermarkets. Just be very mindful about anything added, so you know, the salts, the sugars. If you are making it yourself, it's really, really simple. I'm sure that you probably got all the ingredients you need already in your store cupboard, so just have a look. We can add our own recipe onto the end of this in the notes section, but it's really, really simple. You've got lots of fresh ingredients, ground ingredients, normally things like coriander, paprika, chili, cumin, garlic. Pop some oil, some olive oil in a wok. I'm going to add in my chicken, I'm going to add in my red onion and my red pepper. Start with adding your vegetables.
So I always do the chicken first, but there you go.
No, I'm just going to soften these off.
Yep.
Really, I mean, there isn't, having cooked for a number of years now, I met lots of different chefs along the way. Everyone does it differently. Yep. And you know, with chicken, as long as it's cooked, that's the most important thing. You just want to make sure that chicken is cooked all the way through. You're cooking in a hot pan, you're using a decent amount of oil. Okay, so once that's started to soften, you can add in your chicken.
And this, by the way, we're using chicken breast. We went to the frozen section of the local supermarket, which seems to work out a lot cheaper per chicken breast. This entire meal is coming in at £2.12. And when you see it, when it's all done, wow, so filling indeed.
So I'm literally just frying all that off, making sure the chicken is white on all sides before I add in my spices. And once I've added in the spices, I'll probably cook it for another, it probably needs about 7 or 8 minutes of high cooking time until that you know that chicken is completely cooked through. Then we're going to grate some cheese, which you can do because you're a pro with that one. We're going to
only because I've got this one gadget. This gadget's about £10 in most supermarkets. If you can't find it, Amazon do it. And I just love it because you waste no cheese. You ever done that at home where you're grating on a normal grater and then you can't get to the last bit, and if you do need it, always cut your fingers. Now you've got red cheese. Well, you know, very nice. So this just protects your fingers, and you end up with zero waste. And because it grinds it so finely, less cheese goes a long, long way.
That's brilliant, isn't it? So there we go. You've got your cheese, you've got your avocado, we've got our flatbread, we've got our sour cream. This is nicely cooking. So I'm just going to add in a couple of teaspoons of our spice mix.
Okay. And if suddenly you haven't got sour cream, could you use something else instead?
You could use creme fraiche, you could use Greek yogurt, you could add a little bit of lime to it, you could add a bit of mint to it, coriander, you know, just use what you've got really. If you don't have a cheddar cheese, you could use crumbled feta on top.
Lovely.
There's lots of variations you can take on this. This is just a really lovely lower carb dish, and we're serving it with our favourite tortilla flatbreads that we created. And
because we're trying to keep everything affordable, if we mention a certain type of cheese and you haven't got that, use whatever's in the fridge. If we say a certain herb, we're telling the ones we think are the best for that flavour of dish, because it's probably like a Mexican one here, but whatever you've got, use that instead. Keep that cost down because we want to make it affordable, convenient and easy for you.
Okay,
that's looking great already.
It is. So we're just making sure all these flavours are infused. Just give it a couple more minutes cooking time. Just make sure that your chicken is cooked all the way through, and then you can pop it on. And you can leave these. You can have them so that they're open, or you can roll them up. However you want to do it. You know, we've made these tortillas so that they're really, really brilliant at keeping their structure, keeping their shape, and then it's up to you how you serve them. You could even pop these in the oven with the cheese on top and melt the cheese straight onto it.
So the chicken looks about cooked.
It does. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this avocado, which is nice and soft, fortunately, in this bowl. I'm just going to give it a little mash, and then I'm going to pop that on the base, so it's going to almost act like a little bit of a butter. You could add the sour cream straight to this if you wanted, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add it There you go. You could add some fresh chilli, whatever you want. And then we can literally pop the chicken on top of that.
Yep.
We're going to pop the sour cream on.
Wow, look at that. I've got lots left over, as always. We'll pop those on the side for decorating, I think.
Okay.
You know, when we do this pricing for you, we always end up with more food than we think. We always say like half an onion, but then only use like a quarter or whatever, half an avocado, but we're probably going to use a quarter of one. So here we go. Here's the magic. Look, wow, it smells delicious. Wow.
And then you've got so many beautiful colours here. You've got the really rich, reddy orange.
That smells, looks fantastic. Really, really, really great value. And I guess we're just going to sprinkle the cheese over the top, put the cream on, and job's done.
That's exactly it. So let's do a little bit of the cream.
Oh, I mean, well, of course it's you that's doing it, but it's restaurant worthy. I mean,
I wish.
And low carb. Somebody needs to have just a pure low carb restaurant, don't they? No carb, low carb, and that's all they do. And well, we've got 50 plus dishes here for you to start. Anybody wants that idea? Come and see us. We'll call it Mrs. P's Kitchen, low carb kitchen.
There we go.
Wow, fantastic. We didn't even need half that cheese, did we? So
no.
Remember, we're always telling you probably more than you need, but that looks absolutely fantastic, and what value for money.